You have now entered the StormCast. Cruising speeds are set. The destination has been mapped. You are now on a journey with the greatest host, the StormCast. Action Jack, Nintendo Cisco, Geronimo, Trey Vito, Sandstorm McDowell. Hypervision goggles should be securely fastened to properly see the truth presented. Get ready, Stormtroopers, for another StormCast. Grab your snacks, grab your drink. Don't blink, or you'll miss the StormCast. Here we go.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are here for another Stormcast. I got Vigilante here with me. Vigil, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing great. How are you, man?
I'm doing all right. Uh, just real quick, we do have some of the other team members coming in. They're just moving. We all got lives, so we're moving. Um, See a few people here in the chat. What up, Shine? Matt Jazz. Jumped in as well. What up, Jay Biggs? I know Vigil. Let me go to yours as well. Give the shout outs to some of the peeps as well. But with that being said, we got to pray in. We got to hit this pray in real quick. So, uh, Father God, thank you for this opportunity, Lord, to have conversation about hobbies that we love, that you have placed in our minds and our hearts, Lord. We appreciate all the things that you have given to us and all the things that you are doing for us and through us every day. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right. So, with that being said, some real quick, uh, man, I always forget the word house, real quick house, not cleaning, house. Well, we got to talk about some stuff before we jump into these
Yeah.
topics. um, so, first things first, to everyone who has so far won uh, some free merch from us, we are going to have real soon here a email that you guys can email to, so we can get all of your information so we can send that out. If you have Twitter, for now, if you have Twitter, you can DM me that information so that we can get some of that stuff out. So once again, shout out. I have the list here from last week. uh let's see here. We've got, oh, I had it here and it got erased. But I do know, shout outs to Shine J Big, shout outs to Tabby Cat. That was three. We had five winners. I believe somebody from your channel as well, Vigil, um, won as well. And who was the other person who won?
I
Hmm.
do not
I don't remember. I'm gonna have to go back and look at it. Well, with that being said, we still have free merch.
know.
We still got free merch available for you guys. So stay tuned, stay engaged in the conversations that we're having, and you too might be able to win some free merch as well. Um, oh, what up, Water Demon Girl? Appreciate you coming through.
I haven't
Um,
seen her in a while.
yeah, we, people jump in and they're like, what's up with your life? What you
To,
going through? what's new? Um, man, I am scrolling, looking for, it is this one. There we go. Okay, I'm caught up. Okay. With that being said, we're gonna just jump right into the first topic, guys. We got a whole lot to talk about, and within 2 hours, which we kind of crushed with 30 minutes preparation. So, with that being said, getting into the forecast today is the topic of Nintendo and gamers wanting their money back. I want my money back. Well, not me personally, but that's what they're talking about. So if you haven't heard, if you don't know about the conversation that is being had, Nintendo, some months back, right? Last year? Was it last year? I want to say it was last year. Filed
I
a
thought it was
claim.
earlier this year.
Okay, so early this year, between early this year and last year, the uh, administration for the United States, our president, um, ushered in some uh, new tariff laws that were deemed illegal, and because of that, Nintendo threw a lawsuit at the United States um, for this. And so I'm gonna read off some of these numbers because everything under their stuff was was hit, even some stuff that I completely forgot about. So before August 2025, these prices as follows. The Nintendo Switch Lite was $199.99. The Nintendo Switch OLED was $349.99. Nintendo Switch, the OG regular, was $299.99. Joy-Con 2s were $94.99. The Switch 2 Pro controller was $84.99. The Switch 2 dock set was $119.99. Thank you, wife. I appreciate you. Nintendo GameCube controller was $64.99. And Nintendo Sound Clock Alarmo, aka Alarmo, was $99.99. Afterwards, this is the transition that they made. Switch Lite became $229.99. OLED came $399.99. The OG Switch was $339.99. Joy-Con 2s were $99.99. The Pro controller for the Switch 2, $89.99. The dock was $124.99. The GameCube controller was $69.99. And the alarm clock was $109.99. So everything jumped up. Well, not everything, but a lot of things jumped up by $5. Some things jumped up a little more than $5. And so, because of this ruling, a lot of companies have came back after the lawsuit, and I'm guessing they won this lawsuit. I don't know if it was a flat out win or not. Vigil, do you know?
I don't know if they flat out won it yet, but I think they're going to.
Okay.
Because I would imagine if it was ruled illegal that they're going to get it back no matter what.
Okay. So with that being said, we'll come into the assumption that they're probably going to win this lawsuit. And with that being said, people want their money back. People want their money back because they paid all this money during the lawsuit for said items. And now they feel that they should get some sort of return. So with that being said, Vigil, how do you feel about this whole conversation?
All right. So I did a video back when we first found out that they were ruled illegal and that Nintendo and all the rest of the companies were suing the government to get the refund. And with all politics aside, 'cause I'm not going to get into politics, no matter whether you agreed with the tariffs or not, they were ruled illegal.
Mm-hmm.
And if I had a business and I had to pay illegal tariffs, I would want to sue back and get the money back too.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, I do not think the lawsuit of the gamers filed against Nintendo, I don't really see it going anywhere. I'm not a lawyer, but I don't see what legal ground they really have. So I don't think legally Nintendo has to give the money back. But I do think morally, I think that they should do something. And
Yeah.
it could be just something simple like, like on the Switch 1, whether it's Mario Odyssey, any game, any high quality game that was from the Switch 1 that they've already made their money back on. It's not going to cost them really anything. They should just do like a short, 30-day period where like, hey, since the tariffs were ruled illegal and some people had to pay the tariffs, why don't we give you guys this game for free? It's not really going to cost them anything. And I think during all this time, with prices going up, that would generate some goodwill. But
Yeah.
I didn't have to pay the tariffs technically because nothing I bought went up in price. So
I feel that. Okay. It's interesting that you say that because I know you probably remember like the ambassador program when we had the 3DS and 3DSs weren't selling well. And so they cut the price, but for those who like bought the 3DS before the price cut, they did the ambassador program and it was like, a bunch of these free games for individuals that you could download ahead of time. I agree with you. It would be cool if they had something like that. I don't know as far as like what they should offer because a lot of stuff is on NSO now. If you're talking about like older games, but it would be cool if there was either free games or because some of these prices are like, an additional $5 here. I think the biggest one is like the Switch Lite going from 199 to 229, and then the Switch OLED going from 349 to 399. I think with that, at least there should be um like a sale, like a major sale day. You know what I mean? So like all your Nintendo games, you get it for 40% off or something, 40,
Yeah.
50% off. Um, because we know Nintendo doesn't do sales. Nintendo never does sales.
Oh, yeah. I'll say that they don't do amazing sales
Yeah,
on that. It's only ever like $20 off.
yeah. So it would be nice if they did do something like that. Vito, you you with us? He must have had to step out. Okay, so
I just say, like they could do that, or just like with the Switch One game, like Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, just give one of those games for free.
mhm,
They've
yeah,
already made their money back. It's not like it's going to really cost them anything just to give it out to people for free.
yeah,
For the tariffs, just do like a short period, and say, hey, you can claim your game.
yeah, and I think on top of that too, um, Sony and Microsoft. If Nintendo wins, Sony and Microsoft are coming too. Like
I
they're.
think Sony's already filed a lawsuit for the tariffs to
Mhm,
get the money back. I'm not sure about Microsoft, but for being honest, they didn't really sell that much anyway, so I don't see what kind of money they would really get back if we're being honest. But I think Sony's already are suing them. But yeah, if Nintendo wins it, they're definitely gonna. Sony's gonna do it too. I know that there was a lawsuit against Sony also from the
yeah.
gamers, but I don't. I just don't see them. I don't see the gamers winning. I really don't.
No, no, and honestly, this is kind of how business works sometimes. Um, I do think there's some business plays within this, though. I do think that if Sony already has theirs out, um, as far as their lawsuit against the United States, and let's just say hypothetically, they win, everybody wins, right? All the businesses win. I definitely for sure think that Sony won't give the money or won't give their fans anything back. It'll be just like, thank you, put in pocket. We were waiting for that.
That's
I
exactly what they're gonna do.
Oh yeah, and I think it would actually be a clean opportunity to show, from the Nintendo's perspective, to show that they care about like fans in that regards, right? So like, you know,
Oh,
in spite of, or not in spite of, but because of recent news, with dealing with the United States, we are so happy to announce that for the month of August, we will be uh, giving out either free games or heavily discounted games, um, back to the player. That's a move right there. That's a that's a pretty big move.
because they can do it too. I mean, they got a whole PS4 catalog.
Mhm.
Hell, that they can even do with the PS3 games that everybody's been begging them to sit there and bring over, like the Sly Coopers and the Ratchet and Clanks.
Yeah, yeah. There's so many opportunities and the crazy thing is, in reality, it wouldn't really cost them any money to do
They
something
want
like
it because they already made the money on all that stuff. Like we're not asking for the brand new games here. We're like no one's asking for Sony to give out the Wolverine game to free for everybody, or asking Nintendo to give out the new Ocarina of Time free to everybody here.
that. Right.
It's the older stuff that they've sold millions of copies and they've already recouped some money.
Yeah.
And it would just show some goodwill, but I just don't think that they would be.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, with all that being said, I don't see them doing it either. I think it'll just be one of those like, we got our money back.
Exactly. Yeah,
um,
like I don't even see, You know, like because of all the times that the PSN went down with Sony, I don't recall them doing anything. You
Yeah,
know, because of that crap. Like back in, like was a long time ago, but I don't remember it back when the PS3 thing went down for almost a month. You know, and I don't remember hearing about them doing any goodwill because of it.
right. Yeah, that whole month, and then yeah, that's a whole conversation. Um, Ib said, if people weren't happy with price increase, then nobody would buy it. If people buy, then it's not obviously not a problem. Can't go crying because Nintendo got their tariffs back. Yeah, that's another thing, another point in the conversation. Thank you, Ib. Is that you bought the stuff during the tariff, and that just says like I'm okay with the price point that you put it at. Like it sucks, but you're saying I'm okay because if you weren't okay with buying it at that price, then you wouldn't buy it, right?
I,
Nobody's.
I told everybody when it happened, don't buy it. You know, I was saying that Nintendo should eat the cost, along
Mhm.
with PlayStation and Xbox. That they should have ate the cost and they would have made it back on the software, but and they didn't do that. People were buying it. Some people don't buy it, but they chose to buy it.
And they
So I'm not
chose.
going to feel bad for them,
Yeah,
especially the ones that bought the Switch Lite. They added $100 to it. I didn't even remember that one. That was like if anybody bought that, I don't feel bad for them.
yeah. You chose
Yeah.
you chose it. You chose it yourself, and it wasn't like it was forced upon you. You know what I mean? Like you could have waited, or dare I say, since Vigil has been kind of big in this lately, you could have just went and found a used one.
Yep. That's what I do with my Switch too.
Yeah, so it's one of those situations where I think it creeps on somewhat of entitlement. I agree. Should we get something out of this? Yes, wholeheartedly. I do agree. I think
I
so.
believe it's morally right to do it, but legally,
It's not. Yeah, it's not a binding contractual thing that they do so. But am I entitled to get something out of this? No, no, I'm not. No, I'm
not
not.
at all.
J Big said, "Oh, wait. Oh, they added $29.99. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Yeah, when he said $100, I'm like, really? $100 is a lot.
yeah. So even still, even with the added price, I mean that is a lot, but an extra 30 on top of that, and it's not even just 30. It's 30 plus wherever you live because the taxes are different. Um, so some people could have paid more than others depending on where you live. Um, what up, Rhoda the Hedgehog? Appreciate you coming through. Um, so yeah, man, it's I think sometimes and Vigil, I know you've gone through this a lot before. Sometimes I think we fight the wrong fights, and sometimes I think we fight the right fights, but we fight them the wrong way. Um, and I think this is one of those situations where it's like, okay, you're you're fighting for the right thing, but like, are you fighting for the right thing? You know, the right thing within the right thing, right? Um, and I say all that to say we should get something, but it doesn't necessarily have to mean that we need to get our money back.
Yeah.
And they and actually, as a matter of fact, now that I'm thinking about this, especially with Nintendo's ecosystem and how like the eShop and everything is kind of set up, they actually could technically give you your money back, but keep your money if that makes sense. So
Oh, yeah.
they can put they can just be like, hey, because of everything that's going on, we're giving everybody, I don't know what's the equivalent, the store exchange equivalent, but we're giving you a certain amount of, I think the platinum coins are the ones that work
Yeah.
for. Yeah, so we're giving you 1,000 or how many ever platinum coins that equal a certain amount of money, so you can buy whatever from the eShop. Like that's beautiful.
Oh yeah, and that would be awesome too. I mean, just like anything would just generate some type of goodwill because no one else is doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. J Chen, what up, J Chen? Appreciate you coming through. J Chen on Vigil says, what a wonderful for Nintendo news, and Nintendo giving free Zelda Breath of the Wild for free, and I'm so glad AAA game is shift down and being all old games and PS5 games and big wins for Nintendo. Yeah, that would be nice.
That would be
Um, yeah, even Zelda Breath of the Wild, because it's an older game, for it to put in more people's hands right before Ocarina of Time, I do think that's a good move, even though they're fundamentally different. Um, uh, Rhoda asks what's going on with Nintendo as of late. So the conversation, I don't know if you see the lines, but um, they were they filed a lawsuit against the United States because of the illegal tariffs of last year, and so we're kind of waiting on seeing whether that's a W for them or not. But as of late, a lot of gamers are trying to file their own lawsuit for trying to get money back from Nintendo, and so their Nintendo's lawyers at this point in time are trying to um, give a reason as to why the court should dismiss that case. Basically, let me see. Darius Shine, what up, Shine? He said, used game market is definitely a great option. I see people selling Switch 2s and PS5s on the marketplace for good prices all the time. Yeah, they're readily and available. What up, Matt Jazz says, used Switch 2 should not be recommended due to the risk of the system already being bricked. Oh,
that's when you go
yeah,
online to find out.
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, do
You know,
some
someone-
research.
Yeah, if someone wants you to meet up in an alleyway to buy a Switch 2, it might not be a good idea. But,
Yeah, if you're going to a secondhand store,
yeah.
I mean, they
I go to
legally,
pawn shops.
yeah, legally they have to give you a working Switch 2 and not a bricked one.
Exactly.
J Big said, now for me, I only buy brand new consoles. I don't want anyone else's problems. I do that for certain things.
Well, Jay Biggs, you do understand that there's this thing in there where you can set the default settings to where it erases everybody's problems. That's what. Well, mine was already like that, so I was good. I got lucky.
Rhoda said these are the same people that tried to do the Pal World lawsuit for patents against Pokemon. Yep, facts. Oof, that is spicy. Oh my gosh.
You don't like spicy?
I do like spicy, but only when I know it's coming. Pause.
Oh, I love spicy.
I did not know that was spicy. She never said anything. With that being said, wow.
Oh, you need some milk?
Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm good. With that being said, shout outs to Roto the Hedgehog. You are our first winner for some free Storm. I completely forgot the channel. The Sandstorm Show Rebirth merch. So let me go ahead and put you in here. Rhoda the Hedgehog. Now, Rhoda, since you're like you're probably not new to Vigil's channel, but he's with the StormCast now. So with that being said, you have options, and I wish I had them sitting right next to me, but I don't. You have the option of the Sandstorm Show hat, which is what I'm wearing currently. The Sandstorm Show shirt, which has our emblem on it. You have the option of a swag bag. And you have the option of a water bottle, which also has the emblem on it too. So congratulations to you. You can put it down what your choice is down in the comment section. We will see it, and then we will have further information for you so we can get that sent out for you. Vito, any last minute thoughts on gamers wanting their money back to this Nintendo lawsuit?
No.
Okay. J Big said, what I mean, other people's problems is other people are nasty and I don't. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like the inside of the system and all that other stuff. The irony is that I buy Nintendo stuff new, and I tend to buy Sony stuff used. It's I don't know. It's just been a thing. It's not necessarily that I think that Sony stuff is cheap, but ever since the PlayStation 3, whenever I buy something from them, something always seems to happen. So yeah. So with that being said, let's move on to our first topic. That was the forecast. If you guys have more thoughts about the gamers wanting their money back from the Nintendo lawsuit, go ahead and put it down in the comment section when we will still rattle it off. So with that being said, topic 1 is Miyamoto talking about the remakes and why Nintendo should choose them. So I have one of these. There we are. So in a recent interview with Famitsu, Shigeru Miyamoto, or as I'd like to call him, Godfather Miyamoto, talks about why Nintendo has been doing more and more remakes. So he kind of pushes back about the whole idea. So here's his quote. He says, "Some people might say there are a lot of remakes, but after 5 years, a lot of people outgrown games and stop playing them. Young people today don't have the opportunity to play games from 10 years ago, so remaking them to be more playable and releasing them again is a good way to meet the demand. Letting people know the original games also leads to future development, so we've been actively pursuing that recently." So with that being said, have we had a lot of remakes lately from Nintendo? Like within the past 10 years, has there been a heavy amount of remakes?
I want to say from Nintendo, but there's been a lot in general if you look at the gaming industry as a whole.
Okay, yeah, because I feel like as far as remakes go, recently there's been an influx, yeah, but overall, so Nintendo to me is like kind of they're kind of weird. Like on one hand, they'll do a remake or remaster of something, but for the most part, they like to keep a lot of their like legacy intact, especially with like some of like the bigger games. Like we're just getting Ocarina of Time, and I know people are like, well, the 3DS version is a remake, but it's still like a wholly intact version of the N64 version. So with that being said, and kind of your thoughts on it, Vito, how do you feel about what Miyamoto said about like the young moving into the gaming scene and making games more accessible to them through the remakes?
It's the same type of view I kind of look at like Disney films being remade the way they are now to the live action. The generational thing with with the new gen kids want to like look at this. Is this something interesting to them? And so remakes, it will be like, I wouldn't say like necessarily like the way they look at a game franchise or whatever like that, but it would give them some type of, I guess, a newfound interest for something that we have played in the past. Because I can literally look at my little brother as an example. when we had or the 4 hooked up and playing that, he can care less about the Ocarina of Time or whatever like that. But like now, he's like the remake's coming out. He's like, oh man, yo, I wanna get that. I wanna get that. I remember Dad had it and you was playing it in the beta. So in a sense, it's kind of like it. I do agree with it. It does open up something for the newer generations. But I mean, like the way I look at it, I'm looking at it more like I don't think it's necessary in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Because some kids are definitely going to go back, and some kids are not. They can care less. You know what I'm saying? So it just really depends on the kid's interest in a certain situation. But I don't necessarily think Nintendo doing this is like a necessary thing, but at the same time it's pretty cool. And they haven't done that many remakes. The only people that's doing like remakes literally would be like Sony, and they're like the kings of remakes right now. Them and I want to say like Capcom, they're like remaking everything in the world. So it's like pretty much is like, and I look at those remakes as like pointless at times, especially Sony's remakes. I don't get. It don't make sense to me. Like I don't like where did they get the idea from? All right, have a little drawing and this game is gonna be remade and stuff like that. And we're like, why? Like what that was you just released it like 5 years ago and you're remaking it again. Like I can see a remaster, possibly with the better graphic things, upgraded or whatever like that. But what Nintendo makes sense. This Star Fox remake, that was neat. That was cool because if you look back at the old Star Fox, that was old and this and that and the third, but it was a great game. The graphics were very crazy, you know, especially when they show the crew talking to each other. It's just like faces like shaking, like it's like they're not actually talking, like their face is shaking. So updated graphics where you're having like, or updated visuals where you can actually see the character actually physically talking, and so just moving and shaking and stuff. It was, yeah, like especially Slippy, like he's the one that just he throws me off when I look back at the old thing. He's like, I'm like, what in the world is he having a seizure? And I look back at it was like those films, like there was like, jeez, man, and we didn't question this back then. Like this is it was acceptable. Same thing with like the GoldenEye situation with those faces of like the henchmen and you know like like back there. For some reason we thought that was realistic, but
yeah, the hands.
Yeah, look. Yeah. So now that we like now that we have like better technology and we can sharpen up our ideas and things like that, some stuff is needed to be remade or can be remade, and some stuff is just like there's no need for it. You don't have to do it, you know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily necessary for you to do it. It just depends on what that company just want to waste some money on, you know what I'm saying? Or like, we got a whole bunch of money on this budget. We said we're gonna do this, but maybe we can throw it in a remake. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? I don't know. I just know Sony is the worst with these remakes because they make remakes. They don't need remakes. Like Last of Us. What in the world, bro? Like, why are you remaking The Last of Us like 5,000 times? 3 versions. Maybe 4. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like 3 versions of Last of Us. So I'm like,
yep. Is there 3? I think there's 4
PS3,
now.
then there's the PS4, then you had the Last of Us. I think there was a remaster after the PS4. Then you had the Last of Us Part 1.
Yeah.
I would say the only one thing I agree with pretty much everything Vito said. Except I don't think that Sony's the worst. I think that title goes to Square Enix because they're the
Yeah.
only ones that turn one game into three.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
No, you're right on that. Yeah.
They
But
definitely.
I will say that Nintendo does need to remake one game, and they need to remake the Yoshi's Island. I want to remake a Yoshi's Island. Or
Oh
No,
yeah.
that
Oh
would-
yeah. That would be nice.
real sequel.
Yeah, that'll be.
So if we're talking official version, and shout out to Matt Chess, he said I believe Nintendo made more new games and remakes compared to other companies. Jay Biggs said what I have an issue with too also is The Last of Us. You have the remaster, the upgrade, the remaster of the remaster, and a remake of the remaster. So there,
That's too
I know, right? And actually, this is kind of surprising. So if anybody brings this up to you, you can use this. There are actually 8 distinct versions of The Last of Us. So there is.
You got it, didn't you?
Oh yeah, because they had the collection of Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2.
Yep. So you got Last of Us, The Last of Us Remastered, The Last of Us Part 2, The Last of Us Part 1 for PlayStation 5, the remake, The Last of Us Part 2 for the PC, The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered for PC as well, and The Last of Us Complete, which is Part 1 and Part 2. So that makes 8 versions. So,
Hey, just wait till they do Last of Us Part 2 remake.
right. And then they will finally move on to The Last of Us Part 3 and all of its remakes and remasters.
Yeah. You know,
I don't have any hope for 3.
I don't have hope either. I honestly don't mind remakes. Now I do want new games as well, but if they do like 1 or 2 remakes a year and then do other stuff also, I'm fine with it. As long as it's not like a Sony situation and a Square Enix where they turn one game into 3 games. I do not want it. I want one full game. You know, Sony, if you're listening and you ever decide to remake Legend of Dragoon, you better not pull a Square Enix and turn that into 4 games. Do not do it. I want to be able to finish it before I die.
That actually would be the worst because that game is a long game, and you can get a lot of. The thing about like Final Fantasy VII is they like squeezed as much detail as they possibly could about the story, so it like they tried to force you to make 3 different games out of it.
Yep.
That
And they ruined Rebirth.
That's
I
crazy.
hate the ending of Rebirth.
yeah.
I hated that ending.
So it would be a lot. It would be a lot. I do think you brought up a good point, Vito, about Disney and like the imaginings of all of like the classic movies and stuff like that. And I never really compared that to the game, like the games that we have. But you're right though. It does give a lot of the younger individuals an opportunity to play the titles that we knew, but with the latest like style or trend or what have you of today. So that it's more ergonomical. I think that's probably the best word. So that it's more ergonomical for them to be able to enjoy these kind of games, which is really cool. I do think that helps, especially with like some of the bigger classics. With that being said, at first I was against Mario 64, but if they decide to make it a lot more, do a whole lot of life choices with that game to make it a lot more ergonomical, I actually would not be mad at it. Squared, what up, Squared? Appreciate you coming through. Square said, if remakes are a side thing and they're still making actual games, then it should be fine. That's facts. Just like Vigil said. Matt just said, I guess in the case of Microsoft, they want to remake their company because it's a life game.
Seems like they're doing that every month. They can't make up their mind what they want to do.
With every new president that moves into Xbox, it's like a whole change. You know what? It's funny that he says this now, but it's almost like Xbox is almost like their own country. You know what I mean? Like the president is the president of the Xbox country, and so they throw in these rules and regulations, and then you got to live under those. And then it's like, you know what? It's time for a new one. We can't do this anymore. It's time for a new president. The new president is in, and he's like, you know what? All the things that the last president did, we're not going to do that. We're going to change it up. And you don't feel the difference until, years of them being in office. It really is like a country for them. Let me see here. Am I?
Last of Us Part 3 and Knuckles.
Yeah. Okay. It's me. Okay. Now my computer caught up. JB said, here are the remasters. I need Twilight Princess, Link Between Worlds, Metroid Prime 2 and 3 HD, Samus Returns HD, Super Mario Land, and Super Mario Bros. 1, 2, and Wii HD. Yeah, new Super Mario Bros. Yeah, I think that would all be... I think those would translate really well as remakes and remasters. One thing is, too...
We're also forgetting Wind Waker. Wind Waker would be good.
Is it me? Am I on the slowdown?
You, because we're fine over here.
Okay. Hopefully mine clears up. Okay. With that being said...
Did you hear Vidjo?
Yeah, I can hear.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
did you hear the Vidjo, what he said as far as Wind Waker?
Oh, yeah, Wind Waker.
Oh, okay.
I don't think a remake. I think a remaster.
Yeah, I think a remaster of that, too. I don't think it'll ever be as good as the Wii U version, but I do think it would be good that they finally do a remaster of that game. One thing, too, I wanted to bring this up as well, is that Nintendo confirmed that the Ocarina of Time actually was not going to be a one-to-one remake, which I do think is actually a good thing in this case. Some of those things don't translate well over. So let me ask this, and chat, this is a question for you guys too. Do you think that the game will have loading zones like the original game?
I don't think so. Well, if they're going to do more, I would imagine they wouldn't.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think so either, because that game was back on the 64 where you had to have loading areas. But this game is, the Switch is so much infinitely more powerful where you don't need to do that anymore.
Yeah, you got Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom don't have loading zones unless you're fast traveling.
Yeah. So I guess now the question is, if there aren't any loading zones anymore, what are some things that you would like to see change as far as it not being like a one-to-one remake?
I want voice acting.
Okay, I like it.
I don't care if Link speaks, because when I played Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, I really didn't think he needed to. Yeah. I think that they did a good job having everybody speak for him, pretty much. Mm-hmm. As long as it's not like in Metroid Prime 4 when she wasn't speaking, but you kind of needed her to because it just made the situations awkward. As long as it's not something like that, but I want voice acting, definitely.
Okay, I like it. I do think voice acting works really well, and too, sometimes I think in this current day and age, it definitely helps with being engaged into what you're actually playing, right? Versus just reading. One thing that I love and hate about animes is when you have to watch the sub version of animes and you're spending most of your time looking down, reading, and then you miss the action and you're like, crap, I gotta go back because I gotta watch the action part. I missed that because I was too busy reading. So to be able to have those, the one thing I will ask though is don't necessarily, if you're gonna do voice acting, I almost wish that the Japanese voice actors also spoke English, because sometimes the translation doesn't translate as well. You know what I mean? So one of the moments I can think of in Breath of the Wild when we saw that Breath of the Wild trailer, and we got the voice acting and all that stuff for the trailer. Zelda does the uh, and in the English one, she's just like, it's like, that was anticlimactic, so I do. No, Sleepy Rule. What's up? Appreciate you coming through. No, this is not a this is not a debate. Is this a debate? No, it's not a debate. When I say those, no. But I do think voice acting is a really good one. I do. I actually think that some of the cutscenes that you get would be good placements for if there was an awkward loading screen. I talk about this all the time, but Lord Jabu Jabu, right? So in the original game, you feed him the fish, you fly into Lord Jabu Jabu's mouth.
Is that the whale?
Yeah, the whale. His mouth is the is one of the loading screens, and so when you go inside of his mouth pause, um, it's a whole dungeon inside of there, and that dungeon does not translate to how big Lord Jabu Jabu is outside. Super pause, um, and so I think one of those ways to either work that out so that you can go in and out of that dungeon is either A, the first time you see him, he jumps out of the water and you know, he does the whole thing of inhaling the fish and you. Um, Dang, pause, man, golly. Or, and then when you want to exit out of his mouth, you know what? I'm gonna just say pause for the whole thing. Like,
Hey
pause for this
man, like
whole.
you having a difficulty time. Just to go through it, and then if there's something cringeworthy, then we'll say the pause for you.
I appreciate
Uh,
that. So then when you go out of his mouth, like he's already back underwater. So like you kind of doing the like swimming to get back afloat above water. And then if you ever want to go back into that dungeon, then you could dive into the water, which is already a thing in Ocarina of Time, and it's like dark water, and then like out of nowhere it might be a cutscene or something like that where he like goes and swallows you again. Um, so I think that works for that specifically, where you don't where like having an area that's supposed to be a loading screen doesn't look awkward,
Yeah,
because I almost feel like walking if you're outside, and I guess like I said, the Switch is way more powerful than what the N64 is. So the N64 would never be able to make Lord Jabu Jabu as big as the dungeon that's inside of him, right?
yeah.
So I think if the Switch could make it that big, to where the dungeon was that big and Lord Jabu Jabu was bigger than that, I think that would be actually the dopest idea for them to do. But if they could not do that, or if they didn't want to do that, trying to find ways of having some sort of transitional piece in there, I think will work really well. Um, Matt just said, I I want scenario scenes like what happened if you failed against Ganondorf or if you actually married Rudo. That'd be interesting. Rudo ends up becoming a sage, so like that ain't gonna happen. But I do think it would be cool for them to show scenes after if you did die against Ganondorf in that final fight. I don't have my Zelda Historia with me; it's upstairs. But we all know that this is Ocarina of Time is like the infamous piece in the historical timeline that splits off into three directions. Um, so it would be cool if there was like three endings for that, like if you died, and then the other two, which is basically if you win. Uh, what up, Suro Gunner. They say Nintendo gets a refund in time for another wave of tariffs to hit, thanks to a loophole that allowed them to come back. Yeah, those tariffs I think started in August or September.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's dumb. It's dumb. Squared said, "We never saw the Ocarina of Time, King of Hyrule, even in the manga. Seeing how he gets betrayed by Ganondorf would be cool." Yeah, so that's another thing that and shout outs to Squared. Um, we there's pieces of that game that are missing in 64. Um, in telling the story, like you get pieces of the story, but I think it would be cool if they told like what happens at the beginning, you know, uh, Link growing up to that point because he's a baby when he goes into the Lost Woods. Um, his relationship with the Kokiri um, during that time, and then you finally seeing like most of them don't really like him, but like Saria is his friend. I think he's got a couple other friends. It seems to be the girls. Go figure. And just like those kind of transitional periods. Like what happens in the 7 years? What happens in the 7 years that he's stuck in the Temple of Time? I think that would be cool for them to flesh that out. And I'm going to say this too. I don't know if anybody else feels this way, but I think during the 7 years spread that we should be able to play as Zelda learning how to be a Sheikah and eventually becoming Sheik. I think I'm personally saying
I would love for that.
Yeah, that'll be dope.
I need to see the ninja. You know what I mean? But yeah, so sometimes Nintendo, even in their own games, they don't make one-to-one remakes. Metroid is an example. Metroid and Star Fox are examples of games that are, for the most part, one-to-one. But even Star Fox has some additional added to it so that it's not exactly the same game that you're playing, like you were playing before. J Big says, I want voice acting added, some added content, extra dungeons, more enemies on screen. I think one thing that's not like apparent in Zelda, and my bad, I am doing a lot of talking, but is side quests. You start side quests in Ocarina of Time, but it's not like how games are today. Where you kind of get that like notification in the top corner. Hey, you just started this side quest. It's just kind of like, hey, go here, go there, do this, do that, do this. But you don't really have like any, like, I can't have a conversation with Vigil. Hey, Vigil, did you do that one side quest where you got to talk to such and such and get the sword? Maybe like,
I didn't know I had to.
Right.
It's quality of life features. Definitely need some quality of life features.
Yeah.
Maybe a jump function.
Oh man, I would love a jump function. Especially in the Dongo Cavern. I think there's a lot of areas that need like you to physically jump instead of just running to the ledge and go, oh, whoa, and fall down the side. You're like, I wanted you to jump.
But whatever they do not bring back the durability system from Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Leave that in there.
Yeah. I don't think you need that. I also don't think it's necessary.
I don't think it's necessary for any game. No. I cannot stand that durability system.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessary. Square said, I can see that being the RE4 separate ways playing Ada Wong with Zelda becoming Sheik. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I think they should have, like, it doesn't even have to be a wholly, like, separate game or, like, a separate part of the game. It can be that tacked in piece of, like, you find out, because we don't even know where Zelda went. We don't know where Zelda and Impa went. They ran off. We don't know what hideout or what place or anything like that. So I definitely do think it would be cool to see those pieces fleshed out a little more. Any any final thoughts, fellas, on Nintendo and their remakes and their decisions to do them?
No, not really. As long as they don't do what Square Enix and PlayStation and give us new games along with remakes, I'm fine with it.
Okay. With that being said, let's see here. So, with that being said, moving on to our next topic, which is the Switch 2 OLED is incoming. We got some pretty heavy rumors that the Switch 2 is in development and it's possibly going to release sometime between next year and maybe the following year. Obviously, Nintendo hasn't confirmed any of this conversation or any of this information yet. But there's been some quote unquote evidence. I don't know how strong you want to call this evidence. So there's been supply chain leaks. White frame Switch 2 prototypes have appeared in Chinese resale platform, which is described as trial production, research, and development samples. There's also the partnership with Samsung. Sources indicate that Nintendo is working with Samsung, who leads an OLED manufacturing to develop a future OLED version of the Switch 2. And strategically, Nintendo has a history of upgraded versions of their systems. With that being said, I'm going to ask you guys two questions, and you could probably answer them both. But do you think, one, the rumors are true? And if they are true, what do you think this next OLED system, well, when do you think it's coming out? And what do you think will be the upgrade, I guess?
Well, I don't think that is, like, I kind of think it's true, but I don't think it's really the OLED. Because I don't think there's no way we're going to get an OLED next year. That just doesn't make sense. The system's too new. I think we would get a Switch Lite before we got a Switch OLED.
I feel that.
So, yeah, I can think maybe in 3 or 4 years we can get an OLED, but I don't think there's no way we're going to get an OLED next year. You know, but it could be the new system that just has a better screen, and it could be the one with the replaceable batteries. You know, so it could be that one too.
Yeah, the one for Europe.
Yeah, but I'm assuming if they're going to make it for Europe, they might as well just make it for everything. Yeah,
that's true. So then let me ask you a question. If you're making a new Switch model, do you think they're also working on like how they did with the original Switch, like updated chips for that same system, I guess, like when we got the Miracle chip?
I think they possibly could, depending on how much the component costs are. If it's too expensive, with everything being as expensive it is right now, it wouldn't surprise me if they're not going to.
Yeah. How are you feeling about it, Vito?
All right, so isn't a Switch 2 already kind of like a better OLED screen or something like that anyway? Like, what's the latest OLED technology?
So between the Switch OLED and the Switch 2 LCDs, the OLED is the actual, I don't want to say necessarily the better screen. It's better. It's not better technology, but it's a smoother screen, if that makes sense, because it's OLED, so it doesn't have to worry about blacks necessarily. And the LCD on the Switch 2 apparently doesn't have a high enough HDR, high enough lumen rate, so it kind of has like this ghosting look to it. when you're moving around fast.
For
So
like the
that
1% of people that can actually see it.
yeah,
I'm
that's
not
like
one of them.
that's like the major issue. I don't see it either. It has to be for me to only see it. It has to be a game that has like a massive amount of color next to a lot of black. So
Oh,
like a game like Cyberpunk where there's like a lot of neon lights and stuff like that. If I swirl it back and forth or I go like this, then I can kind of see it, but it's still kind of hard for me
yeah.
to really see it.
Remember, people said with Super Mario U Deluxe that it was like that. When I was playing in handheld, I didn't see no ghosting whatsoever. So I'm just
Yeah,
one of the people that can't notice it.
yeah. I think even Nintendo Prime was like, yeah, I see it sometimes, or I can kind of see it, but like it it's it doesn't mess with your vision to that level. So
But like I'm playing Fire Emblem Warriors right now, and you do a lot of that moving around like that, and I don't see no ghosting whatsoever.
yeah,
If I did see it, maybe it would bother me, but I honestly don't.
yeah. Um,
Okay. Yeah. It's too soon. I feel like, for them to be releasing that. Like Visual said, maybe a light or something like that will be a little more acceptable, as far as coming in as a newer system version or whatever. But yeah, I'm because like what we're a year in so far with the Switch 2 right now.
You
mhm.
know, my wife would kill me if I bought an OLED next year, a new system. My wife would not be happy.
Yeah, yeah,
It seems too soon. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, for an OLED. So people get murdered out here by their wives. So you know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Like definitely, it's too
right.
soon for that. But there, yeah. If there is a new like new version coming out, if that's the room, uh, I would assume that OLED not to be true, but there might be, yeah, like a newer. Hopefully, like you said, the European version. But in a sense, that's technically out. It's just not here. You know what I'm saying, in America. So technically, it's like a,
Oh,
you know what I'm saying. But um, yeah, for that to be coming over here, that would be dope. Especially since battery life isn't really that great.
Yeah,
If you're off dock or whatever. Well, yeah. So, um, yeah. A light will be definitely cool. If they do a light, I would want them to add like a new feature though. You know what I'm saying? Something they didn't have on the last light or something like that. Just to make this experience a little better. Um, but yeah. That's what I think.
yeah. I would say too, because Squared brought up a good point. He said OLED came out 4 years in the Switch lifespan span. It's too soon for the Switch to OLED. So there's a couple things. There's a couple things that I want to say. So one, I agree with Vigil. I think if one system's going to come out, especially now, with again more increase in tariffs and the Ramageddon that we're still going through, a system that is like viably cheaper to try and get into the entrance access point for next generation gaming. I think that's a smarter move than making something with a better screen that's going to cost even more. Um, it just it to me, especially when you have games coming out that are historically been huge sellers for Nintendo in the handheld space, like Pokemon. We got Pokemon 10th generation coming out next year, Wind and Waves. I just think that's a better move to just get the handheld version, the entry level in some people's hands. And some people just don't want to play on the TV. Um, so I think that's a good move. Now, if the rumors are true and the OLED is real, um, shout outs to uh, the real Jay Stone. He said LCDs aren't better than OLED at both quality, screen, and economic battery life. I do think that an OLED version of a Switch 2 would be a good move, a good power play, and a business scheme when the PlayStation 6 comes around. So we're looking at the PlayStation 6 to be announced next year, um, and shown off. Uh, I think that it would be a really good move. And the rumor is for the PlayStation 6 is that there's going to be a handheld version of it. I do think it's a good move for them to wait for a PlayStation to drop their handheld, wait to see what price that is going to be, at what price point, and then whether or not the construction of an OLED version was more expensive or less expensive than a PlayStation handheld, try and undercut whatever number PlayStation comes out with, Sony comes out with the PlayStation 6 handheld. I think that's an ingenious move. Um, PlayStation has done it to Xbox when they talked about how 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 you can give one of your friends a game. Remember that whole thing with the DRM? And
Oh yeah.
yeah, I think that move is ingenious. Um,
I
coming
think
from
Nintendo should do something like that. I don't think they will, but I think they should.
yeah, yeah. Um, so with that being said, man, it looks like you guys have a lot of conversation about about this topic. Um, let's
It
see.
is possible that they could just be working on a better LCD screen to try to fix the ghosting issue.
Yeah, that's very true too. Because we also had there was also rumor or conversation about them still trying to work on the VRR, the trying to get that to work with the dock as well. So it's not it's not impossible to think that they may have an updated version of the actual LCD in itself too. So I do think I I don't know, man. But as far as OLEDs and stuff like that go, with Nintendo, I feel like it's one of those situations where you're like, nah, it's not real. Nah, it's not real. And people are like, it's real. It's coming. It's real. It's coming. It's real. It's coming. Every single year and every single month. And then eventually at some point in time, it'll eventually show up and they'll be like, see, I told you, I knew it this whole time. It was coming. You know, like,
But how many subjects you get wrong before that?
right. So I do definitely think that it's a OLED version is possible. We don't know what the economy is going to be like in another 7 years, and I do definitely see that see the Switch 2 trying to last as long as the Switch 1, or possibly even longer, to try and extend out the life without making a new system so they can not have to worry about RAM again more so in that way, right? So, um, okay. Deborah, my bad. She was asking a couple questions. Uh,
The
but
first
Deborah,
one, no, Deborah, I'm not wearing it.
um, she has also, will Crazy Taxi World Tour be 60?
I hope
I hope so.
it's unfortunate I can't live stream it though. That's a game you just can't live stream. You're gonna get copyright strike left and right.
Oh, heavy.
All that music.
All the music. Every single time. Um,
But you can't play without that music. It's just too iconic with the game.
yeah, playing in silence just doesn't work for me either.
Mm-hmm.
Then she also said the Switch 2 OLED is going to be 700. I'm calling it.
I don't think it's gonna be that much.
I don't think so either because I think they'll wait. The Switch 2 is going to be 500.
I think if they release an OLED, it would be like 550, maybe 6. I
Yeah,
don't see it being 750.
yeah, 6 is the max. I think 6 is the max. 650 even kind of is like starting to be like,
Isn't the Switch OLED only 50 more than the base Switch?
yeah.
Yeah, see, 100 thing, even at 650, I would not think they would release just with a better OLED screen. I just don't see it being 150 more or even 200 at that point.
Yeah, yeah.
Not unless they added some more bells and whistles to it. It made it like a Switch Pro or something.
Right, and that's what I was thinking too. Like if it's gonna be a Switch 2 Pro, but if we didn't get a Switch 1 Pro, I don't think we're getting a Switch 2 Pro. So, J-Big said, I think there are already Switch 2s in different regions that have different screens.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Oh, thank you, J-Biggs. J-Biggs already said it. I was going to hit this, but to Mario, yeah. Vigil is part of the show now. He's in the show. He's not here to debate. It's so crazy.
That's why they keep asking about debates.
It's so weird because it's like this isn't the first time that you've been on the show since that, and that was like last year. So
yeah.
I'm like, where's everybody getting a debate from? Did somebody say something about a debate?
Like, dang, I'm looking back at the title. Like, did we say debate? Are we arguing about something?
About debates? I didn't talk about no debate on
what? Okay. Well, maybe it was because it says what was the title? Nintendo. Something about Nintendo. Oh, give us. Yeah. I don't know. It don't matter. He's part of the team. Visual is part of the Sandstorm Show Rebirth team. So, Matt Jazz said maybe Switch Lite should have some type of Street Pass. Oh, don't do that to me. Then that means I have to buy a Switch 2 Lite.
Street Pass feature as an exclusive for the first month and give the other models. I don't. So what's the Street Pass?
So Street Pass was something that they did with DS and the 3DS, where you could encounter other people, and not only would you get their Nintendo IDs and stuff like that, but you would get extra like features and things. Like, if I remember correctly, it was like clothing and all that other stuff for your Wii or for your Mii, and you could play with them without needing the Wi-Fi, if I remember.
Okay.
So it was a functionality. This is verbatim because I didn't use Street Pass a lot. Which allows passive communication between the 3DS systems held by users in close proximity. So kind of thinking of like the tap for your phone when you want to get somebody else's contact. An example of me sharing avatars in Street Pass Mii Plaza. It is so basically just interactions with you and another person. That is actually still a useful function because Wi-Fi is not everywhere. At least in America, Wi-Fi is not everywhere. So to be able to have that functionality to play with somebody else without connecting onto a...
Oh, so you're talking about like a local setup?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the Switch 2s don't have that?
No.
Oh,
no, they don't. Man, Deborah is on your butt. If you don't beat the Splatoon Raiders, you'll have to wear the banana suit.
I am not wearing the banana suit. I am not. If you want to see someone, go watch him, okay? I am not him.
Matt Jazz said they could. Oops, that wasn't Matt Jazz. Matt Jazz said they could have an exclusive Pokemon theme for Switch 2 Lite and the home menu. That's what So I think if they were going to do a Switch 2 Lite, I think they would lean heavily on the Pokemon experience, especially with new stuff coming out. With the 10th generation coming out, which I'm really excited for.
Yeah, I just hope that leak about the price ain't true. That's all I hope.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be 80.
Excuse me.
I don't think it'll be an 80 title. Why can't they just fix the Switch 2 screens and keep fixing before the Switch 2 OLED?
I
And
think
Nintendo.
fix it. I think the only way to fix this is by using a different screen.
Yeah, because I think if that's the case, I think that it'll be just like how it is with any kind of manufacturing thing. When you come out with new technology or something that streamlines, whatever technology that you have, they just kind of slowly roll over to the new stuff. So if they have a new like visual set, it could be possibly just a new LCD screen that uh, utilizes both from an economical and battery and a visual standpoint. This is all out better. And instead of making a whole new version of a Switch, you know what I mean? A Switch 2.0, a Switch 2 2.0, they would just flap the screen on and keep it moving and call it a Switch 2. And you would never know, but you would hear about it in the news, like, oh, Nintendo has decided to move over to, this new screen, blah, 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 that doesn't do this or that. But in the public's eyes, it's still just going to be a regular Switch 2. Okay. I think we've hit the 30-minute mark. Yep, because we are at an hour and 21 minutes. We are making very good time. With that,
That's why.
Yeah. With that being said, the last topic of the day. This is a good one. This is for your guys' chance.
San Diego Comic Con. No, it's fine.
Real quick here. Real quick. Shout out to Matt Jazz for the comment in this topic. You, sir, get some free merch. So with that being said, like I said earlier, I don't know when you jumped in. I think you jumped in early, so you get a hat or a shirt or a water bottle or a swag bag. So let us know in the comment sections. I will go back and read through them to see what you chose. And stay tuned. We are going to have a way for us to be able to get more detail on how we can send that to you. With that being said, the last topic is visuals topic, which is this. So, Vigil, I'll hand the reins over to you, man.
Oh yeah. So the last topic it is what is the best Nintendo game on every Nintendo console? Now, for me, on the NES, I've only ever played 3 games, so I'm gonna have to give it to Super Mario Brothers 2.
I like it.
Super Nintendo, it's gonna have to be Yoshi's Island. I know there's a lot of nostalgia in that one, but I still remember. I don't remember how old I was, but I remember for Christmas, I got a Super Nintendo. It came with 3 games: Donkey Kong Country 2, Yoshi's Island, and a WrestleMania game. I will always love Yoshi's Island to this day. It is still my favorite Super Nintendo game. That was really badly need a remake. Like they can give us an HD 2D remake, I'd be happy. I just want a remake of that game. And then for the N64, I would say GoldenEye, but for a Nintendo game, I'm going to give that one. That one's a hard one, actually. I would probably give it to Mario Kart 64.
Okay.
I would give it to that one. And then for the GameCube, I'm going to have to give it to Super Smash Bros. Melee.
Hey.
For the Wii, I'm going to have to give it to Twilight Princess. For the DS, I'm going to have to give it to... Did Pokemon X and Y come out with DS, or was that 3DS?
Pokemon X and Y was 3DS. DS was Black and White. Yeah.
Then I would give it to Black and White too for the DS. For the 3DS, I would give it X and Y. And then I never have played a Wii U, but if I had to pick a game from the Wii U that was ported over to the Switch, I would probably give it to Captain Toad Treasure Tracker.
Ooh.
And then,
then
for the Switch, I would give it to Xenoblade Chronicles 2, but it would be Golden Tournament. Golden Tournament to me was a masterpiece.
Okay.
Much better than Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Still love the base game, but Golden Tournament was amazing.
I like it.
Switch 2, I would give it to Age of Imprisonment.
Okay. He said the Warriors game is it. The Warriors game is
dang.
Switch 2, I'd have to give it. Hey, the Ocarina of Time can beat that one, but I got to give it to Age of Imprisonment.
I feel that. Wow.
What about you, Deacon?
So for me, the NES, Oh man, the NES it's a struggle. I'm gonna say the NES might actually be Super Mario Brothers 3. No, I'm gonna backtrack. I'm gonna actually go way off. I'm gonna say the best one is Kirby's Adventure. Um, I think that's still to this day. I think that's one of the best Kirby games. Super Nintendo. I was trying to think of something other than the one that you said, Vigil, but Yoshi is too dang good, man. Yoshi's Island is just too dang good. Even if I could just sit there and listen to the music. You know what I mean? Like the music, it has bangers for every single level. Like the songs are a masterpiece, and the platforming is absolutely wonderful. N64, you already know what it is. I'm not even going to pretend like it's going to be anything other than Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask is 100% the one. It is still to this day the Zelda that is the most different in my opinion. Right up there with Zelda 2, as different Zeldas. Like it it's the one. GameCube, man, GameCube. That's going back into a struggle territory. There's Mario Kart Double Dash, that's great. Luigi's Mansion is great. Mario Sunshine, I love. Oh man, man, oh man, oh man. I'm gonna say Wind Waker. Actually, I'm gonna say Wind Waker for GameCube. Uh, just because that one is just such a big classic, man. And it got the remaster, the HD remaster on the Wii U, and it was even more of a confirmation that it could stand the test of time. We, I have to agree with you again. Twilight Princess, just being able that first time. I have a whole story about that. I think I've already talked about, but uh, just when you thought you were actually swinging back in the day. Yeah, that game is a masterpiece. And semi hot take. I'm not a fan of Skyward Sword and its actual swinging. I'm actually not a fan of that. Um, Wii U, Xenoblade Chronicles X, man. Xenoblade Chronicles X. That game. That game, especially having the second screen down there, so you could do all your inventory work and everything at the bottom screen, and not have to shuffle through like you do on the Switch. If you only played the Switch version, you missing out. I keep telling people that you play only the Switch version, you're missing out. Um, in ways because the Switch version also has added content, but that version, absolute masterpiece. I would even put as a backup. Um, I would put Mario Kart 8. I'm sorry, I forgot all the handhelds. My bad. Deborah's like throwing out handheld games, and I forgot. So Game Boy, best Game Boy game. Um, I would say shout outs to Wario Land, Mario Land 3, as the best, but Pokemon entered the chat room and said, "What up, dude?" So I'm gonna say that the best one for that, and I'm gonna do it this way because you'll see. I'm gonna say the best version is Pokemon Yellow, Game Boy.
That's
Yeah,
what I forgot to say. I forgot Game Boy Color, and I was going to say that too.
yeah. I, You'll see why though. You'll see why. You'll see why. Uh, for the Game Boy, what was that after that? Game Boy Advance. Game Boy Advance. It has to be. I feel like most of these games are going to be Pokemon games.
Yeah.
Um,
Soul Silver or
yeah, yeah. I think Pokemon, uh, Sapphire, Ruby and
Emerald
Sapphire.
and, Emerald and Ruby.
Yeah, Emerald. Yeah, and Emerald is probably the best one out of those three. DS, it has to be Black and White too. I don't think I was a huge fan of Diamond and Pearl. And Platinum was good, but Diamond and Pearl, I don't know. It kind of fell flat for me. No, 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 no. For the DS, Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Heart Gold and Soul Silver is my DS game. I believe.
Oh, I forgot about those.
Yeah, that's why I didn't put them in for Game Boy because I'm like, I don't want to use it twice,
Yeah.
and then it'd be one of those situations where it's like, yeah, nah, that's kind of a cheat. So Heart Gold and Soul Silver, 3DS, Mario Land. I think no. I'll say Ocarina of Time 3D. That was an amazing game as a 3D. If you guys, I'll say this also too. Shout out to Pulsar Legend. He sent you Gold Coin.
Oh, thank you, Pulsar.
If you have the 3DS that still has like the 3D toggle onto it, man, pick up some games for that. I think the 3DS with the 3D was like so misunderstood. I missed that so much. The glassesless 3D, I think the technology was there, and I think it could have been even bigger had it been utilized even more. But man, I missed that. New 3DS, oh man, I missed that. And then now we're on to the Switch. So I did both of the lines. So for the Switch, best game, Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild. Yeah. Yeah, Breath of the Wild. I'm going to just say Breath of the Wild. And then for the Switch 2, so far, what is the best Nintendo game? We don't have a whole lot of Nintendo-esque games for the Switch 2.
Just say Donkey Kong.
I think that's what it's going to be. I do think it's going to be Donkey Kong. And I will put a shout out to Star Fox because I really do think that is a really, really good remake of a game. I'm gonna go with Donkey Kong, but backed up by Star Fox. All right, Vito. So because I know you probably haven't went through all the consoles, but through the ones that you have, what's your favorite or the best Nintendo games for the ones that you have?
So I'm gonna start off with like my Game Boy Color. That was Pokemon Red. Was Red on there?
Yeah, Red was on there. Good game.
Red, blue, and yellow.
Yep.
Yeah, it was.
Pokemon. Game Boy Color was like
gold?
Pro version of Game Boy.
What was gold and silver? Was that on
Gold,
there?
Silver, and Crystal were also on the game.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Crystal was the Game Boy Advance game. And,
That was?
yeah,
Okay.
and
okay.
Silver and Gold were the Game Boy Color games.
Okay.
No. You're right.
Yeah,
Vigil.
I could have sworn.
It was.
I remember that big, thick Game Boy case too.
Yeah, you're right. Crystal was the Game Boy Color only game, while Silver and Gold you could still play on the original game.
Advance.
Yeah, because it had that clear case.
My Advance I had, which I lost. That was crazy. But it was there was this fluctuation of everybody wanting a Dragon Ball Z game, and I think that was like the only system I could have played a Dragon Ball Z game at the time. So for that Dragon Ball Z game it had up until the Buu Saga,
The
I
one where you
believe.
play as Kid Goku, and it's like a top-down one where you roll. Okay, that one. Yep. So that one for that, because that's the only thing I can remember on that one, because I lost it. But so I didn't really get to have a lot of games on that one. But I'm sure I would have got a Pokemon game for it if I still had it.
But then I think I need to go back. I think Nintendo 64, that would be the next one for me. I would have put sheesh. I would say Ocarina of Time, but I spent more time with my friends playing Smash, or not Smash, Super. Yeah. Was it Super Smash Brothers?
Super Smash Brothers, yeah. On the
What,
64?
yeah, that was the like the original, right?
Yeah,
or
that
not
was
original.
the first one. That was
Yeah.
when you hear all them noises like.
Yeah, yeah. I'll definitely put that as my best game on the N64. Besides GoldenEye, I mean, honestly, I probably would have put that too. Because
It had to be a Nintendo game.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see. What's next? GameCube. Okay, so for GameCube, I will probably put Melee with Visual. For some reason, that had like a storyline to it, didn't it?
Yeah.
Smash Brothers Melee?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that had her understanding what was going on. Like the hands, I was like, oh, this is a toy box. like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then let me see, what was next after that? Was it the Wii?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What would be my favorite Wii game or best Wii game? What's crazy is I didn't even play it all the way through, but when I was playing it, because it was at this is my dad's console, but it was Twilight Princess, so I did play like a little bit of that.
Yeah.
But that's where I got the idea of taking that sample of what was that?
The Woods.
The Woods. Yeah.
Lost Woods, yeah.
Yep, the Lost Woods. Yep. But yeah, that would probably be my best Wii game, even though there was other stuff too. But
I know, because it's wild, because I would have thought at least one of us would have said Wii Sports.
I mean,
You know what?
played it, but it wasn't like a game that like, oh my god, I gotta play it. If someone wanted to play it, I was for it, but it wasn't like
it was just something fun to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like just something just to, okay, I need mindless fun. That's what Wii Sports was. Mindless.
fun, yeah.
I'm a single player guy at heart. I don't mind playing multiplayer here and then, but I'm just more of a single player guy.
Yeah. It was made for your grandma to come over and be like, you got that Wii Sport? You got that Wii Sport?
I remember I used to play with my little brother and get mad. Like what's crazy is like we'll play. It'll be the golfing part. Or no, it was bowling. It was bowling. Cause he would get so mad, he'll let go of the controller and it hit the TV. like he'll be like get like in that blind fury, you know. And and luckily we had them old school joints, the glass joints, so it just like stop throwing the controller.
It's funny, not to get too off topic, but it's funny. I got this person that I work with. She does it so well. Like, you know, when a kid's just mad, they, and you be laughing at them, and that turns into anger.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm still beating you though. You're not winning with that scream.
You know, they get mad, they start hitting you, especially if you older brother. They start hitting you, and then they start grabbing, like the little hands grabbing and stuff. Like, quit pinching me, dog. Start grabbing stuff. You like, okay, it don't hurt. All right, stop playing. Then they grab you one good time where it do hurt, and you be like, stop playing.
He hit me. You've been grabbing me this whole time. You've been pinching my arm.
Are you guys gonna get the new sports game?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wasn't planning on buying it. Then my wife just randomly came across. She's like, "Oh, I want this," and I'm like, "Oh, now you want me to buy a game that I don't really care to buy?" But
It's September, right?
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
They showed it off at San Diego Comic Con too. They had like a booth or whatever.
that was November.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think it's that far out. I think it was either going to be August or September.
No, that's September. That's
I think
September.
it's September. Yeah.
Wait. Could be October.
Yeah, it could be October.
Yeah,
That's October.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, October 22nd. Man, they should have came out with that in the summertime. That's more.
That should have been game. That should have been a doggone console drop. Like during the same time the console dropped.
Yeah, I think that would have bought. I think a lot of people would have picked that up. But I think it's okay though, because during October is not bad, as long as it's not November, because it's not gonna get played. Zelda is gonna be my game of choice during that
It should
time.
have came out summertime, to be honest, with all the activities and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought it should have been. Should have been summer. Should have been August's game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting time drop at the end of October at that.
Oh wow. Yeah.
I already got it pre-ordered.
All right, so Wii U. I don't know. That one, I didn't play Xenoblade Chronicles X on it. Even though I think Xenoblade Chronicles X is pretty dope, and I probably would have enjoyed the split screen situation.
Yeah, I think if you played it on a Switch, then you know exactly what you were getting into with the Wii U.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't really have one for the Wii U, even though I had one. The Mario Kart 8.
What about
You know what I'm saying?
What about Bayonetta 2?
Oh, I did have that. Yeah. All right, Bayonetta 2.
I changed mine too. I played Captain Crunch Treasure Tracker. I forgot about Bayonetta 2.
Bayonetta 2.
I don't know what made me think of that. Like, wait a minute, man, that is the game. They got that.
Good look. Yeah. Bayonetta 2. For Switch. Dang. Bayonetta 2. That was why.
Bayonetta 2.
But Tears of the Kingdom. Okay. That would be for Switch. And like then Switch 2 so far, I would have went Donkey Kong. But yeah. Okay. That's pretty much it.
Okay. Cool. Yeah,
I'll pick some good ones.
Yeah, that's a whole list. I'm glad that I am glad that Bayonetta is part of the lineup for Nintendo, because they needed something more mature in that lineup, and she's like the right amount of mature. Yeah.
Borderline X-rated.
You know,
and it's up there with Stellar Blade.
Yeah.
Right.
And I like how they were like, yeah, we're gonna put her in Smash too, but it's it's gonna be skin. It's gonna look like a skin, but she's gonna be wearing like a leotard. Like, so it'll be okay. You can still play as her. Shout out to Mad Jazz. I'm gonna bring this back up. Super Mario Bros. 3, Donkey Kong Country 2, Mario Kart 64, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. Ooh, forgot about that one. Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, Xenoblade Chronicles X, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and Kirby Air Riders. They kind of missed me with Air Riders.
Air Riders was too busy for me. It was too. I don't know what was going. My eyes hurt.
It was okay. It was just, to me, with Kirby Air Riders, they threw a whole lot of quantity, but they didn't really excel at one single thing. It's like, if you wanted a racing game, there's just a better option. If you wanted like a better party game, there was a better option. To me, Like if I went over to someone's house and someone's like, "Hey, want to play some Air Riders?" I would play it. I wouldn't like say no. But if they had like almost every game and said, "Here, pick one, we'll play together," that wouldn't have been my first choice.
Yeah, that wouldn't even been in my top 3, my top 5. I don't even think it'd be in my top 10 of games that I would play. But
Like,
yeah,
I would
you're
have been reaching for Sonic Racing Cross World, Mario Kart World before
right,
that.
right. J Big said Tetris. I forgot about Tetris for Game Boy. The Super Mario.
Oh dang!
I know, right? The
crazy.
Super Mario Advance, that is Mario World. Oh, okay. Super Mario World, but on the Advance, which was on the Game Boy Advance. Metroid Prime Hunters, which I hear a lot of people. I hear the growth of people liking that game. I never played a 3DS, but I will say Street Fighter 4 since I played the demo of that. Okay. There was one more in here that somebody had a list. Let me see here. Square said Heart Gold and Soul Silver with the Pokewalker, aka Beta Pokemon Go.
Oh,
Super X.
I never got into Pokemon Go. I tried it,
It was definitely a fad for the for the whole world for the longest time.
You know what's crazy? They there was a study saying that like that game or whatever that gave whatever company a better like a better view of things, or a GPS mapper. It was a better GPS mapper than the Google.
Oh, than Google and driving around?
Yeah, because basically people were taking pictures of spots, like locations and different areas. Like it literally, they said that had like a better map overall than Google and all the rest of the GPS trackers and stuff like that, which was very interesting. I was like, I always thought of Pokemon Go as more of a social project than an actual, like game or whatever. It was more of like, how many people are gonna, take pictures of this and that. I mean, of these Pokestops and stuff, or how many people are gonna use the actual not the what is it, the RA or AR or whatever.
AR.
Yeah. How many people are gonna like use that opposed to using this and that? But it was definitely one. A lot of people got better at fitness with it. Like people like will make these walking routes and stuff like that, catching Pokemon or whatever like that. It was a nice little something. But yeah, not a lot of people would have gotten into it. I know some people tried it and then they were like, it still ain't the real thing though. I still ain't catching no real Pokemon out here though. And some people got into it, like big time. Like I totally got into it, battles, all that type of stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say Square. I think Squared is still really big into it. Shout out to Squared.
I use it now for my walking routes for my dog or whatever. So I mean, we still kind of use it.
I mean,
I knew someone that spent thousands of dollars in that game.
Ooh, I can't spend a single dollar on it though.
You're right. I mean, in all honesty, there's no real reason to.
No.
Like everything is so accessible. You don't. I mean, unless you really don't have patience like that.
He did not have patience.
Yeah.
He was like, I want everything now.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. I didn't even know. I thought Niantic was owned by Nintendo. They're not even owned by Nintendo.
No. Matter of fact, you know what's crazy? They came out with a game before they came out with the Pokemon game. That was a really dope concept. It was like this: you're a special agent. You pick a side or something like that, and y'all have to grab like energy. It was kind of like the same concept of Pokemon Go, but it just really didn't do too well. But it was fun for a minute. And then when I heard that they were behind Pokemon Go, I was like, whoa, okay. So this ain't the Pokemon company by itself? Like, nope,
it's not actually. And I think we're. This shows how much that we like actually pay attention to Pokemon Go and Niantic, but Niantic is no longer called Niantic anymore.
Yeah, something
Uh,
else.
yeah, they are now known as Scopely. What is the name now? Scopely Explore. Um,
Hmm.
which as of July of this year, so July 7th, a few
Hmm.
weeks ago, they got bought out. Uh, dang, $3.5 billion.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
a
Square.
crazy money.
That's the name of the that right there. What Square said because they made an anime about it too. There's an anime of it.
Ingress. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Wow. After being acquired by Savvy Games Group, subsidiary Scopely last March, from the sum of 3.5 billion, it's announced that the Pokemon developer Niantic will be getting a name change and logo update. Yeah, that's crazy.
Is this Aang movie out right now? My bad.
That's crazy. Okay, so with that being said, we are close to our time. We are at an hour and 50 minutes. I am going to run through a couple of these last comments here. Uh, Squared, yep, he said he's still playing Pokemon Go. Um, let's see. I got to keep up with everything that's being said on Vigil side. Uh, Deborah, I'm not gonna do anything with the banana suit because I already told her I ain't about to be a part of that. That's
Yeah,
that's a conversation for you and
no,
Vigil. And he said
no,
no.
no.
And he said no. Uh,
What's up with what?
There's another guy that wears a banana suit during his live streams, and they want me to do it. It's like, no, go watch him if you want to see him dance around in a banana suit.
right. How
The one
about
thing I'm thinking is peanut butter jelly time.
Yeah, I know.
you know what I mean?
Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly.
Deborah, how about watching Vigil play Splatoon Raiders in the Vigilante suit? How about that?
There
Yeah.
you go. That's what I'm doing tomorrow. I got the game sitting right here. I haven't cracked it open yet. I'm gonna play it first time on my live stream tomorrow.
That's funny. They just want to see your face.
Right.
That's all. They want to see your whole face.
No,
Um,
I can't. That's my job.
I personally think the whole Daft Punk look is cool. I think that's I
Yeah,
think
it's
that's
like Tron-esque.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I was going for like a cyberpunk Marvel.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Jay Biggs said, in his last thought, said, I pretty much forgot about Pokemon Still Go. I didn't realize Pokemon was so big, but anyway, it is still still funny.
Hey, Biggs, come on.
Forget
Pokemon is a
Pokemon all
good
day,
game.
every day.
You know,
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy ZA, but you know what? Legends Arceus, Scarlet and Violet, those are great games. X and Y still has the greatest starter of all time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's something that I do. Shout out to Sam. Uh, a buddy I work with. We do have a conversation back and forth about Pokemon. He, interestingly enough, we had a conversation. He was like, I like Pal World better. And I'm like, okay, no, that's fine. And he said, I want it to be. I just wish that Pokemon was more realistic, like Pal World. Um,
I want to say Power was realistic.
right.
Then he
I
hasn't
don't.
played Monster Hunter then. Tell him to play Monster Hunter.
Yeah,
I don't
you want
think-
that, go play Monster.
Yeah, I don't think any fantasy game is realistic, no matter how realistic you make it, because it's a fantasy game. But that's not the point of my conversation. So he brought up. So he was asking me, why Pokemon looks the way that it does. Um, because he feels like the Pokemon Company and Game Freak can do so much more. And so I gave him the example of Monster. What is that? Beast of Reincarnation. And it's like, oh, of course they can definitely do better visually, like Game Freak can. They just have to have the time and the opportunity to be able to do so. And with the way that Pokemon is, it used to be every year, and then they've kind of spread it out a little more as they've gotten into the Switch and making DLC and stuff like that. Um, and so I kind of said I said these 2 points to him. Um, I said that they won't do that because he was looking for like a Detective Pikachu, like the movie kind of style. And I said, yes, they won't do that at all. But doing small changes here and there for maximum profit is how they run that operation. We just got textured skin for the Pokemon with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which was impressive for that machine. Not gonna lie. Unfortunately, jumping to the highest graphical fidelity has never been Nintendo, and much less Game Freak's idea. Sometimes that's beneficial, like now, where graphics are in full diminished returns. Uh, you can do anything. Um, I said I think also too, Game Freak has had to deal with making a new game either every year or every other year to keep up with the anime and the cards. So it's not so not to make an excuse for them, but they there's so much more that goes on with Pokemon than just making a game. They have to worry about the animes. They have to worry about new cards coming out. They have to worry about merch. Uh, there's a lot at play when they do those kind of things. And I'm not giving an excuse for Scarlet and Violet being as bad as it was. I'm glad that they kind of uh, found some redemption in the Switch 2 and doing that free upgrade version so that everything was a lot more playable. But I can only imagine that they probably have to go through a lot in order to create another set of 150, 200, how many ever Pokemon, and make a believable world and all these other things that get added into it. What do you think, Vigil?
Yeah, I agree. Like, I don't need like hyper realistic graphics for it. Maybe something like at the very most, I wouldn't mind something like Ocarina of Time, like something like a cartoon realistic.
Yeah,
And I don't need hyper realistic.
yeah,
Or even like Power World, because they don't have hyper realistic graphics in Power World. I like the art design in Power World also.
yeah. I do too. He was showing me the new quote unquote Kyogre with doing like some sort of tsunami wave, and I'm like, yeah, that looks dope. It looks tight. I don't think that will translate well into the Pokemon world because it's a turn-based game. Um, you can do it as like a move, but like that's not what you're. I don't think that's what you're actually looking for. You're looking for a giant wave, for you to run out of the way, and you're like, my Pokemon's in trouble. That's not gonna happen. It's a turn-based game. Like they fundamentally play different. So
I
what you
think
get?
they'd probably do another Legends game or something similar like that, I would think, but I don't think.
Yeah, yeah.
I like turn-based anyways.
I do too. Vito, what's your thoughts on it?
What?
Just like,
A realistic Pokemon?
yeah,
Nah, that don't work. That does not work at all. Why would you want them realistic anyway? Like AI generated realistics, or the people that make the realistic forms on Instagram, it looks scary. Like, think about your animals.
mm-hmm.
That's pretty much what Pokemons are. They're nothing but animals inspired by animals.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like real animals. They just combine. So what will freak me out is a cat and a dog combined together to make a log or something like that. Like it would be looking real weird. Like Pokemon, like Pikachu is like a squirrel. He's like a squirrel rat thing with electricity. Like that is scary. Like if you see a squirrel and then you combine it with like a mouse or a rat, that is scary. Like that will look crazy as heck. They're fine the way they are.
Yeah.
They're fine the way they are. Cute and cuddly and all this other stuff. Even the evolved versions have some level of horribleness. I like that factor. That is fantasy. And then, what kind of freaked me out was Detective Pikachu. Even though that was a cute little cuddly Pikachu, it still was kind of like, ooh, this don't look right in the real world type
weird.
stuff. You know what I'm saying? It looks weird.
All the Pokemon, like a real Jinx, and like
Yeah.
real Psyduck, real
Yeah.
Gyarados. You like,
All those were weird. Like that to me felt, hmm. Yeah. But yeah,
yeah,
no. And if he's saying it like he wants a Power World, like Pokemon should be more Power Worldish. That's the reason why. Because that thought process. You know what I'm saying? So no, Pokemon stay over here. If you want some realistic looking peoples or realistic gameplay, or not, I would give him
Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter. Probably some other stuff on Steam somewhere. Somebody has
Yeah.
created something.
Yeah, because Monster Hunter Stories is that
Yeah, yeah,
where you get your own
hmm
set of monsters
yeah, yeah.
that you fight with. So,
And then like, if he wants them to look a little more, I guess not cartoonish, but it's still cartoon. I don't know what he's looking for, but I would say Digimon, like the new Digimon game. You know what I'm saying?
That's an anime style.
Yeah.
What is it
I mean-
called? I'm Strangers?
Yeah.
Yeah, and technically Pokemon is still an anime style. It's just a softer, kidder anime style. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird to really explain, but there's animes that actually that are in that Pokemon
Yeah.
that look like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just look bubbly and
Yeah. Now that you're saying that, I wonder if he's saying more like, and maybe I'll ask him, not tomorrow, but Monday.
more mature.
No. So you remember? I don't know if you guys watch Pokemon like that, but during the seasons of X and Y, it was before Sun and Moon. During the season of X and Y, like Pokemon had that like. Okay, you remember how Pokemon looked on the TV show, and then you saw Mewtwo's Revenge, or whatever the first Mewtwo movie was. And it was like, dang,
Yeah.
these look kind of
Oh, yeah.
clean. So it was like to that level. I wonder if he's saying I want the Pokemon to look more like their TV show adaptation. You know what I mean? Instead of how they look in the video.
Oh
game
yeah,
adaptation.
it do look different in the game. Yeah,
Going off
you're
of
right.
like how the last game was too. You know,
Yeah.
like I love the visual art style of like Scarlet and Violet.
Mhm.
I was not a huge fan of ZA's, but if he's going like off of that, then yeah, I think they should do more of a, or even for Wind and Waves, from what we saw with the trailer and everything, I think that art style looks good too.
Yeah. I like that art style too. It's like,
But if he's talking about like a more mature thing is Pokemon is not designed, it's not really aimed at adults like that. It's
No.
more aimed towards a younger audience. Now we tend to play it
yeah,
because of childhoods and everything, but
right.
you know, Power World is clearly more aimed at a mature audience. I don't see a lot of parents letting young kids playing Power World.
Right.
Yeah.
True.
Could be wrong.
Deborah said everyone laughed at me in preschool for watching Pokemon XY and Pokemon XYZ. Don't feel bad because X and Y are bangers and XYZ is dope. Like as far as like the Pokemon shows, those were hands down my favorite, and it was the best version of the way Ash looked. Like when they moved to Sun and Moon and he had all that like fluffy and looking, and I was like, nah, this ain't it.
What about the newer style? Are you liking that newer style?
Oh, for the new Pokemon?
Yeah.
We're talking about the game or the show?
The show.
The show.
I don't even know the style.
Show wise, I think it's fine. I have struggled still of watching it and it not being about Ash. Ash and real
Yeah,
people.
that is kind of weird.
Yeah. It's still not sitting right with me. But it's okay though, because like the new generation is in now and they get to have their own version. So I really hope that the characters from that
I think they messed up with Ash. They should have did like Digimon and swap out their characters like long time ago. Because now it's all about Ash. Like it's literally like when you think of Pokemon, you can't watch it without Ash being in there some form or fashion. So,
Right.
Yeah, no,
I
that's
still would love a Pokemon game where it's just Ash through his whole journey.
Yeah, that would be really cool. We never
finds his
got a Pokemon game.
father.
Plus,
Yeah,
Miguel was yellow.
yeah.
Hey, who you think is Ash's father?
Doctor Oak.
Yeah, Oak. Maybe Oak. His grandpa's really his father, maybe his brother.
Yeah. But Gary is really his cousin.
Oh, okay.
What about the dude that runs the little evil organization and stuff? What's his name? Giovanni.
Giovanni, yeah.
Wouldn't that be funny if that was Ash's son?
Yeah, that would be hilarious.
There's big theories about how he might be,
Giovanni
and
running.
that actually is a little, because it actually makes sense because his mom like certain clues and stuff like that they said in the movies and then like the show.
He's only. I mean, even in the game, he's only the next town over from her.
Yeah.
The gym.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly. And now to be a world known Pokemon trainer, so hey,
Yeah.
it could be. But yeah. I just want to ask that real quick.
All right. So we are officially at 2 hours and
2
5 minutes. Man,
hours,
we
5
made good timing. So with that being said, we are gonna get up out of here. But before we get up out of here, Vigil, what you got up for us?
Well, tomorrow I'm coming out with the Mitsu sale video and also talking about the Sakana sales also on top of it. And then I'm also going to be live streaming for about 4 or 5 hours. Splatoon Raiders. I always like, whenever I get the brand new launch game, I always try to live stream it for the first time playing, so everybody gets to experience it.
Nice. All right, Vito, what you got up for us?
So next month, I don't know if anybody on here watches the Vitoverse, but hopefully you do. And please subscribe over there and to Visual's channel and our other channels like Nunami. But next month we're going to be starting back the Vitoverse. It should have actually started now, like this week, because of San Diego Comic-Con. But I still needed that extra time, so I'm stretching it out. So all my channels are back up next month, where we talk entertainment like movies and TV, mainly the action movies and action TV shows. We kind of aim more towards that lane or whatever. But we're getting closer and closer to Avengers Doomsday. We're getting closer and closer to other films like Dune 3, all this other stuff. The Odyssey just came out, so these are topics that we're going to be talking about over there on the Vitoverse. So if that interests you, please check that out. Subscribe over there, Vitoverse. We are where Sandstorm is another co-host over there, and we have another co-host, Notica Yui. He's part of our team here on the Stormcast as well. Sometimes, whenever he can. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But we kind of have it's like a family. It's like a Storm family. I kind of call it, I have my own little, what I call it, but that's neither here or there. But anyway, just stay tuned for all that. Shout out to Action Jack and the Winged crew all over there, and Geronimo and N10 Cisco and the whole Nintendo crew. I think
Yeah,
they're deep. But definitely shout out to all of them. Link at you, nice guys, all of them. Everybody. But anyway, that's all I got.
all right. Real quickly here for tonight, our number one on the chat was Jay Biggs. He barely passed Matt Jazz. But Jay Biggs, I put in the comment section, you've got two options. Do you get more new merch, or do you pass it forward? All right. He said pass it. He said pass it to number 2. All right. For sure. 2 to squared. Okay. So okay. All right. So we'll pass it forward for you. Now, with that being said, shout out to Squared for winning. Shout out to Road. It says Road the Hedgehog. Rhoda Hedgehog. I hate when my phone auto corrects for me, and I'm like, no, I put that for a reason. Stop doing that. Sometimes when your phone Acts like your secretary. They be trying to do stuff for you, and you be like, "That's not what I play." Anyway, so shout outs to Brother the Hedgehog. Shout outs to Matt Jazz. Thank you for J Big for passing it forward to Squared. You guys are the winners of some free merch. Once again, if you have an idea of what you want for your free merch, go ahead and put it in the comments section or find me on Twitter at SandstormMcD and DM me what you want for your free merch as far as a hat, a shirt, a water bottle, or a swag bag. With that being said, we are here every Saturday at 7 o'clock, where you can find Sandstorm, Angry Vigilante, Faye Vito, Action Jack, and then Tin Cisco and Geronimo on the channel. We do have in the description below where you can find each of our channels as well. Tomorrow is the Winging It podcast at 7 o'clock as well, so head on over there to hear more conversations, great conversations about gaming. And on Monday is the Jill podcast with Terminator Juice, where they have even more conversations. With that being said, thank you guys so much for coming through. We really appreciate you. And before we get out of here and I forget and get in trouble and my wife tells me that I didn't do this, we got to pray out. So thank you, Father God, for allowing us to have great conversations today, enjoyable conversations. Thank you to all of those who won free merch. We thank you for your love, your kindness, your grace, and your mercy. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. And we are out of here. We'll see you guys later.